Okay, hey guys. Let me just enable the live session. Hey guys, hey all, I'm Dee and welcome to Decode's YouTube channel. In this particular live session, I'm going to be solving previous year English grammar question asked in Infosys, and also I'll be providing you email and essay writing templates and how to really write your email and essay if you're asked one of these questions in the online assessment with proper accuracy, with proper grammar. I'll be telling you all of this, so watch this live session fully to get full benefits, and also share this live session with your friends who are also preparing for the Infosys online assessment. Okay, fine. I've got some questions to solve in this particular session. I'll be solving that. Let's wait for a few people to join. It's still 7:28, and let me just enable the chat. Okay, fine. Okay, great. Let me just go to this. Okay, so the purpose of this channel is to be useful for others who are all preparing for their interviews, so that they can get to the next steps of their lives. And you can find various companies interview rounds, like end-to-end interview preparation, starting with assessments, coding rounds, and then interview, technical interview, HR interview, and everything. So you can find this in my channel. So share this with your friends who are also preparing for their interviews, coding rounds, and assessments. This will be really useful for them too. Now let me just start solving the questions that I prepared. Let me just see if I've got any questions over here. Not yet. Fine. Okay. So the first question is, choose the synonym. Okay. So before getting into the question, this is English grammar part, isn't it? So under English grammar, you will be having various, like, 5 questions basically. So this will also be useful for you in the verbal ability section. But apart from that, you also have English grammar, right? So under English grammar, you can expect to have questions from synonyms, antonyms, error spotting, fill in the blanks, sentence completion, sentence correction. So what knowledge you would need here is, you would need to have good knowledge in, okay, let me just, good knowledge in basic tenses, if clause, active passive voice, right? So you need to have, and then tags, question tags. So if you have knowledge in tenses alone, it will be really useful for you. But apart from that, you need to have good vocabulary, good reading skills, so that you can answer the synonyms, antonyms part really well, right? So choose the synonym of meticulous. The synonym of meticulous. So meticulous means being sure and being thorough in something, not being really careful. So the synonym is the meaning. So read the question properly. The synonym of meticulous is thorough, because without reading it, we might end up choosing the wrong option, right? And then choose the synonym of prudent. Prudent means someone who's intelligent. Okay, someone who's brilliant. So someone who's also wise. That is what being prudent is. So the correct answer is wise, lazy, ignorant, carefree. That doesn't come under prudent. Choose a synonym of transient. So basically, transient means something that's temporary, not permanent, something that's short lived. So the answer would be temporary. And permanent is the antonym of transient. Transient represents the, like, how long something persists. So temporary is the correct answer. Durable refers to the strength. We are not talking about the strength. And constant doesn't really come under the synonym of transient. Choose the synonym of delight. The synonym of diligent. The synonym of diligent would be someone who's hardworking, someone who's really hardworking and puts in the effort. So that is the synonym of diligent. So negligent means someone who doesn't know certain things. Idle is being alone. Passive is not reactive. So the correct answer is diligent. Choose the synonym of serene. Serene means actually calm. When you're calm, that is what is being serene. So agitated is when someone is not calm, when someone is highly reactive, someone who is not in the grounded situation. So the correct answer would be calm and not agitated, confused or rough. The correct answer is calm, not agitated, confused or rough. I want you guys to answer for the question vivid. What is the synonym of the word vivid? Dull, bright, blurred or dim? I want you guys to answer. Put in the live chat and I'll tell you if it is right or wrong. Choose the synonym of adverse. Okay, what is the synonym of adverse? Adverse, you might have heard like adverse situation, adverse something, right? Something that's talking about the intensity of it, making something difficult or um, something that is not favorable. So the correct answer would be unfavorable. Adverse condition is unfavorable condition. For example, like our flight was cancelled because of adverse weather conditions. So that is the answer. We come to the live chat and see if we've got any questions so far. No, not really. If you've got any questions for me, you can absolutely put over here and I'll be more than happy to answer. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I just wanted to refresh the chat. Let me just make some quick things over here. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me just go on with this live chat. I just wanted to see if people got any question. I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm being audible right now. So just let me know that. Okay. Now let's go to the antonym. Choose the antonym of affluent. So the antonym of affluent. So first we need to know the meaning of affluent. Um, when someone or something is rich in something, prosperous in something, we call that as being affluent. So the opposite would be poor. So wealthy, prosperous, lavish, all um, corresponds to the meaning of the affluent, and the antonym of affluent is poor. Choose the antonym of genuine. So we all know that being genuine is authentic, real or true. So the antonym would be fake. Scarcity. Scarcity means something that is less in quantity, like very less in quantity, like shortage, deficiency, lacking. So if it is more in quantity, we would say abundance. Okay. Choose the antonym of reluctant. Reluctance means someone who's hesitant, someone who really who thinks or hesitates before doing something, speaking up. So that is what reluctance is. Unwilling, careless, not really careless, but unwilling and hesitant. So the opposite would be someone who's eager to do something. Right, so that is the antonym of reluctant, eager. I want you guys to choose the antonym of lament. Lament. So, right. So I just want you guys to choose it antonym of lament and put it in the chat below, and I'll tell you if it is right or wrong. Now, choose the antonym of obsolete. So the meaning of obsolete is something that's outdated, something that is not in use, something that is not in use by the current society or in an application. That is what obsolete is. So the correct answer would be modern, something modern and relevant and that's in use. So outdated, ancient, worn out, all correspond to the meaning of obsolete. Fine. Choose the antonym of hostile. Hostility means being aggressive, angry, or harsh. Hostility means not being friendly, being unfriendly, aggressive, angry, or harsh. So the correct antonym of hostile would be friendly. Fine. Active to passive voice. Before solving active to passive voice, you need to know some rules for this. So let me just teach you that while I solve each and every question, but let me come to the live chat to see if I've got any questions so far. Okay, not so much questions so far. Fine. Let me just solve this. Active to passive voice. So, how can you identify something like a sentence is in active voice? So, if it is in SVO format, then that is in active voice. If it is in OVS format, that is in passive voice. What is SVO and OVS? S means subject, the person, the thing, the place that we are talking about. V is verb, which denotes the time in which we're talking about, whether it is in the past, present, or in the future. O is the object that we use to explain the situation. Okay, so here you can see we're talking about the teacher, it's a person, so it is a subject. Is checking, it's a verb. The papers is an object, right? So this is an active voice, obviously. So to convert it into passive voice, you need to put the OVS format. So the object is papers. So the papers, the papers, and then you have the verb, and then the subject is the teacher. Here you have the verb as is checking. When you convert an active voice verb into a passive voice verb, you need to follow some rule. Is checking is present continuous, right? So is present, ing is continuous, means continuous. So this is present continuous. When you convert present continuous tense from active to passive voice, you need to do some changes to the verb. Okay, so first you have to see if is what this is basically denotes. This is present. So here also you're going to use is or are depending upon the subject. Subject is plural, so you will use are over here. And you have to note the tense. The tense is present continuous. So when you're converting present continuous active to passive voice, you need to include being here. Are being, and then take the actual verb and add ed to it. So V2 form, are being checked. So this is how you do. The papers are being checked by whom? By the teacher. You need to add another word, that is by. The papers are being checked by the teacher. Follow this and it will be easy for you. And then now let's take. So this is subject, this is a verb, and this is an object. Subject. A new bridge. And then the verb follows here, and then you add by, and then you add the subject, the workers. Okay, now you have the verb built. So what built denotes? Built is in the past, right? Built is past. So what you need to do is, here you have to add the verb. If you notice something that is in the past, they're talking about the past, means in the active form that is built. In the passive form, you have to add was plus V2. What you have to do is remember these. You have to remember for present continuous, when you convert from active to passive voice, you have to use is or are plus being plus V2. That is, you remember. Here also you remember was plus V2. So here would be was built. A new bridge was built by the workers. Simple, right? If you know the rules, grammar is pretty easy. Someone has stolen my wallet. Let me solve this too. This is the subject, this is the verb, this is the object. So my wallet will come first, and then you have the verb, and then you'll put by someone, and you have has stolen. Has stolen, first identify the tense. The tense is present perfect, and then you see the has. So present perfect is has. So you will use either has or have based on the singularity or plurality of the subject. So the my wallet is a singular object, you will still use has. When you convert present perfect from active to passive voice, what you will do is add has or have plus been, been plus v3. That is the rule here. Steal, stole, stolen. Right. So when you use have or has, the verb will be v3. So here the answer would be has been stolen by someone. So here they have not included by someone, but this is still in passive voice. So my wallet has been stolen. This would be the correct answer. Okay, let me see if I've got any questions in the live chat. No, not really. Okay. No. They are discussing the issue. The same goes over here. This is subject and this is verb and this is the object. Put the object first, the issue, and then verb comes here. Then by, they converts to them. You're talking about someone. You can't still use they. They when you talk about a group of people, when you use noun you use they, but in the passive voice you use them. The issue, they are discussing the issue. So what is this tense? Are discussing is present continuous. So you use is or are. The noun is singular, so you put is here. And then I already told you the format would be is or are plus, since this is ing, this is present continuous, you will use being plus b2. B2 is discussed, discussed, discussed. The issue is being discussed. So the correct answer is third option. He will deliver the message tomorrow. Okay, we've got 3 more questions. I'll solve this one question. I want you to solve 20 and 21st question by yourself. He will deliver the message tomorrow. So this is subject, verb, object. And you've got some timeline over here. Now let's see. You keep this timeline as it is over here and you only concentrate on SVO. So quickly the message, and then you've got the verb, and then by, if you use he in the subject, in the passive it will become him. And will deliver is future tense. So a future tense in the active is will deliver. In the passive you have to use will plus be plus v2. The message will be delivered by him. Tomorrow will be changed to the next day. This is the correct answer. Was delivered, had been delivered, delivered. Those are not correct. Now, the chef cooked a delicious meal and then the team has completed the project. Pause this session and try to come up with the answer as I told you. I'll give you the steps. First, take up the SVO, convert it into OVS, and in the active voice format, first identify the tense, and then what format would this tense follow in active, which is already in the question, and in the passive. Right. So you just try. The chef cooked a delicious meal. The team has completed the project. Even if it is wrong, let it be wrong. This is a time to learn. I'll correct the mistakes. So no worries. Whatever the answer is, whatever you have come up with, please put it in the live chat and I'll help you. Now, basic grammar, they will test your tense skills. Okay. he dash to school every day. In basic grammar or in basic tense too, you need to find the keyword in the sentence. Once you find the keyword, this keyword will basically be very helpful for you in finding the tense. Okay, so here the keyword is every day. So every day is a habitual action, right? Every day is habitual. It's a habit. So for habitual actions, you use simple present. And you see what is a simple present tense here. Go is simple present, nice. Goes is also a simple present, nice. Gone and going. Going is actually continuous. Gone is in the V3 form, that is not present. Going is also not present. So this is like present continuous. It is present but still continuous. So you will choose go or goes. So how do you choose that? Based on this person, singular plural. He is singular. If you find singular noun, you use singular verb. Singular verb is go is a plural verb. Goes is singular. And how do I remember that? Go is the base form of the verb. If you add s or es, that becomes singular. Singular has s in it, so you add s or es. That is how I remember. If you don't add s or es, that would be plural. The correct answer is he goes to school every day. Okay, let me see if I've got any answers or anything. No, not really. Okay, fine. Now let's go to the next question. I dash my homework before dinner today. Okay. Before dinner yesterday. I'm sorry. I dashed my homework before dinner yesterday. The keyword here is yesterday. So, what kind of keyword should you be looking for? Something that denotes time. So, the purpose of using tense is we want to express, we want to let people know that this certain thing happened at this time, right? Whether it be past, present, or future. We just want the person to know that. So that would be your keyword. Yesterday is in the past. Remember, yesterday is in the past. For past, you use verb plus ed. Verb plus ed. So the answer is verb finished. I finished my homework before dinner yesterday. Okay. She dashed in Chennai since 2018. This is a standard question, you guys. Since 2018, if you see this keyword over here, no. Since 2018 means this person, she has been living in Chennai from 2018. It's from 2018, okay. So even now also she is living. So past connected to the present, you use present perfect. The present perfect tense here is have or has. So you use she has is singular. Has plus B3. So has lived in Chennai since 2018. This is the point where we make many mistakes. We might think, okay, this they're talking about next week, which is future. So let's go for we will complete the project by next week. No, if they had given only the sentence without by, we will finish the project next week, then we can use future tense, but they've given by. By here denotes talking about something, like you're doing the project right now and you're saying by next week we will have completed. So you don't know for sure if you would have completed this project by next week, but you are just imagining, but you are just trying to predict something, right, which has not happened yet. So under that case, you will use future perfect tense. Future perfect. So will plus have or has plus B3. So we will have completed the project by next week. Okay, so we are still doing the project. By next week we will have completed. You're just guessing, imagining, or predicting. So you have to use future perfect. Okay, this is not something that is going to happen for sure in the future. For example, let's say you booked a trip next week. So you would have booked you might have booked tickets, you might have got your bag ready, packed and everything, you're ready, so you know for sure it's happening in the future. In that case, you can say we will go to this um, we will go to this trip next week. But if you feel like um, for example, like if you feel like this project you've not completed yet, so it's still yet to be completed, so we will have completed the project by next week. I hope you understood that. Next, the train dash when we reached the station. So the keyword here is when. So when you see when, you use past perfect. I mean perfect tense, but how do you identify if it is past or present? You see this. This is verb to form. Past always uses verb to form. So you go for past perfect, and past perfect is had. Singular or plural, it's had. Had plus V3. Leave, left, left. So the train had left when we reached the station. Okay. By the time you arrive, dash. I dash dinner. I want you guys to answer for this. I already told you, when you see by, you have to use future perfect tense. So what would you choose? Just put it in the comment section. Live chat, the 27th question. They dash for the exam since morning. Since morning is something that is occurring since morning, right? So it started from morning, continuing till now. They dash for the exam since morning. So if you notice, since you have to use perfect tense, this is still continuing here. So you will use have or has. Present perfect continuous plus been plus verb plus ing. They have been studying. So have or has, you choose have, and because they is plural, and then you choose been, and then the verb is study here. Study plus ing is studying. They have been studying for the exam since morning. Even for this question, you've got since 2018. So here, since here the closest option is has lived, or you can say she has been living in Chennai since 2018, right? So this is also correct. She has lived in Chennai for since 2018. Next is sentence completion. You might be asked to complete a sentence based on the context. For example, like based on, you have to understand the context and give a proper word, a verb, or prepositions or tenses. This is like the most commonly asked format. He is not interested dash playing cricket. So you have to remember that interested will always be followed by in. Interested in something, you can only be interested in something, not on, for, or at something. Okay, you will be good at something. Good at, good will also be, or will always be followed by at. You can be good at something, but you can only be interested in something. You will not be good in something. He is not interested in playing cricket. And she refused dash the offer. She refused. You will either use refused. Okay, refused will always be followed by to. Refused to. So when you use to, you use accept. You can't say she refused accepting the offer. She refused to accept the offer. um, to will always be followed by the actual verb in the base form. And then the team have played well dash they. This is something called as question tagging the question. Okay, let me just see if we've got any questions in the live chat so far. Okay, fine. I've got some. Okay, hi Abhishek. Thank you so much for commenting in the live chat. Okay, you're asking to elaborate question number 24. Okay, let me elaborate and let me see if your answers are correct. Fine. Um, okay. She dash in Chennai since 2018. So you can see, um, first I told you, you have to go for, let me just erase because this is too much. Let me just erase. Nice. Okay. Choose some other color. Okay, so here you can see she dash in Chennai since 2018. They're talking about a time frame. Okay, so she's been living from 2018. Okay, if you notice the word, so what I told you when you're trying to answer for tenses, first see the keyword. Keyword here is since 2018 is actually the keyword here. So she has been living from the past, from 2018 until 2026 25, I'm sorry, 2025 currently. So what you can use is present perfect tense. You can either use present perfect tense or even present perfect continuous is correct. But based on the options, I'm going to use present perfect. This is something that you have to learn, okay? If you don't know this, you can even learn now. If you see since 2018, you can go for perfect tenses, present perfect tense. And present perfect tense, why do we use present perfect tense basically? To talk about something that has started in the past and continuing in the present too. That is present perfect tense. When we talk about something that has started in the past and has ended in the past, it started in the past and ended in the past itself. That is past tense. But something has started in the past and continuing till the present. So we use perfect tenses in that case. So here you can see she is a singular person. So for present perfect, you have two kinds of verbs, have and has. So if you want to use a plural verb, you can use have. If it is singular, you can use has. She is singular, so you will use has plus V3. Has plus V3. So here is live. Has lived in Chennai since 2018. Okay. I hope you understood this. Now let me just okay. Let me just see. Finish. Just search for the question. Okay. I dashed my homework before dinner yesterday. That is right. You have used finished, not have finished. Abhishek, not have finished because um, we're talking about yesterday, right? Yesterday is something that is in the past. So the answer is I finished my homework before dinner yesterday. Now, you've also answered for live. Let me see. Okay. She lives in Chennai since you've told lives. Lives is just in the present. When you talk about present, she lives in Chennai. If you say she lives in Chennai, okay, she lives in Chennai. She was born in Chennai and she lives in Chennai. That is not a problem. But here they've given you a keyword since, so you have to go with perfect tense, not present tense. Will have completed, that is correct. Had left, that is correct. By the time you arrive, correct Abhishek. And then they have been studying for the exam, that is also correct. And Sneha, you've given C, but I don't know for which question you're talking about. Abhishek, to accept, the team have played well. You've put didn't, but okay, you've tried. It is a great try, but I want to say that the team have played well. Okay, so this is question tags. So when you encounter question tags, you have to look at the verb have. Okay, the verb is have. So you just add not to it. Haven't. Correct answer is haven't. The team have played well, haven't they? So when you want to ask, when you want to make sure of something that you're not sure about. So when you know something for sure, you will ask a question, right? You will ask a question like when you don't know about something, you don't know if this person had dinner or not. So you ask, did you have dinner yesterday? Okay, you ask a question. You ask a question only when you don't know about something, but you know about something only partially. In that case, what you will do is you will use question tags. You don't know for sure if this team has played well or not. Okay, you don't know for sure if this team have played well or not. So you use haven't they. Haven't. I'm confused between these two options, haven't and didn't. I hope you got your answer now. You they have not talked about past tense. Okay, so first you have to look at the tense over here. The team have played well, and then you add not to it. Haven't they? Okay, here you did not see the usage of past tense. So you don't use didn't. I hope you understood it. Okay. When you are not sure about something, you ask a question. Did the team play well? Or have the team played well? Or did you have dinner? But when you're sure about something partially, you ask to confirm. Okay. Okay. I'm happy you got it. You're welcome, Abhishek. Let's just continue with the other question. And thank you so much for interacting, Abhishek. Okay. Hardly had I reached the station, dash the train left. Here you can see this is a common pattern. Okay. When you see the usage of the word when had, remember this, when had. So hardly had I reached the station when the train left. So when the train left. So let me explain you it in this way. So you're leaving your home, you arrived at the station and the train had left. Okay. So when you were doing something, when you were reaching only, the train was leaving. Okay. So you use when. Hardly had I reached the station when the train left. Like I didn't even reach the station at time. I hardly reached the station at 2 p.m. The train was supposed to come at 2 p.m. I hardly reached at the correct time when the train left. Okay, I hope you understand. So always remember, just remember when had. Okay, when you see hardly had I reached, you use when here. Okay, go to the next question. She prefers coffee dash tea. So when you encounter prefer always is followed by to. She prefers coffee to tea, not over. We always think she prefers coffee over tea. No, this is the rule. She prefers coffee to tea. She prefers coffee than tea. No. She prefers coffee for tea. No. Over tea. No. Two is the correct answer because that is the rule, the grammar rule. Um, you can't question some grammar rules. It is what it is. So when you develop the mindset of it is what it is in English grammar, you can easily learn and use the grammar in your day-to-day sentences. I just want to tell that. Okay. The project dash by the time the manager returns. Okay. I already told you when you see by, you will use future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect tense. Future perfect tense. You can see will plus have is future perfect. So obviously you can use the third option. Will have been completed by the time the manager returns. The project will have been completed by the time the manager returns. This is an imaginary thing. That is why you use have. Okay. He is confident dash his abilities. I want you to answer the 35th question. He is confident dash his abilities. Confident about his abilities, for his abilities, of his abilities, or on his abilities. I want you guys to answer it because there are some rules and we follow it. Okay. Okay, let me see the comment chat, live chat. Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, when or before, but when is correct. That is true. Correct. Prefer is always followed by to. Prefer coffee to tea. I prefer coffee to tea, not over, Abhishek. And then will have been completed. That is also correct. Confident is always followed by of. He is confident of his abilities. Okay. So you use confident and that is followed by of, not about. Confident of his abilities, not about. Confident for or not, confident of. Just learn this. This is a learning opportunity. Don't worry that you got it wrong or something. Okay. Error spotting. Let's solve the questions one by one. Neither of, okay, let me just take 4 questions. Neither of the students are present today. And we have to find what is wrong in this. Okay. Neither of the students, it is pretty correct. Because we are talking about a collection of students, and neither of the students. This is pretty correct. And then are present today. So when you talk about neither of the students, means we're talking about no one literally, and no one is singular, not plural. So we'll use neither of the students is present today. So the correct answer is option D, which is the wrong part. The committee have not taken a decision yet. So here the committee is pretty correct. Have not taken a decision yet. This is also pretty correct. When you encounter committee, this is a collective noun. So when you encounter collective nouns, they are treated as singular. Singular nouns take singular verb. So instead of have, this should be has. The committee has not taken a decision yet. So the wrong part is have not taken. The number of candidates dash are increasing every year, which is the correct one over here. The number of candidates are increasing every year. Um, the number of candidates is, it's pretty correct. The number of candidates are. So let's just focus on this part. The wrongfulness is mostly in this part, because the number of candidates, we are talking about numbers like 1, 2 or 3, right? 1. So the number of candidates, when you see this phrase, you use a singular one. The number of candidates is increasing every year. Even this word is also giving the correction. I think so. See, it is saying is, right? So the number of candidates, when you encounter this word, you have to use this verb. So the answer is, and the wrong part is are. Each of the employees have submitted their report. Here you can see each of the employees. We are talking about each employee, one employee. Okay, there may be thousands of employees, but when we are talking about submitting the report, we are talking about each one of them, and one of them is singular. So you have to use has here. The wrong part is have. Okay, let me see. Okay, Sneha, off, you're correct. And then you've said are, that is correct, Abhishek. And then option D, I don't know for which question, option D. Let's go to the next one. Thank you so much for interacting, Abhishek and Sneha. Okay, the manager along with the staff have gone for a meeting. When you encounter these kind of questions, so when you see a person A and a person B, or a person A along with person B, what verb will it be followed by? Okay, you need to look at the both of the subjects, the manager and the staff. If both are singular, you will use a singular verb. If both are plural, you use a plural verb. If one is singular and one is plural, or if one is plural and one is singular, you would take this subject over here. The subject is the staff. Staff is collective noun. Okay, staff, they're talking about not a singular staff but a collection of staff. So you use singular verb over here, and the singular verb for present perfect is has. The manager along with the staff has gone for a meeting. So the wrong one is over here. Is responsible for this mistake. Even this is also even this also follow the same rule. You have the principal A and the teachers B. Principal is singular, teachers is plural, so you take the subject that is over here, the teachers, and instead of is you would use are. Even word is also saying the same thing, I think. Yeah, it is also saying are, right? The reason being, when you encounter A and B, A along with B, neither A nor B, you look at the singularity and plurality of A and B. If both are singular, singular verb. Both are plural, plural verb. If one is singular, one is plural, take this. If one is plural, one is singular, always take B. B, teachers, plural, so you take R. So the wrong part is. One of my friends have invited me to his wedding. So here you might think friends is plural, so I can use have. This is pretty correct. What is wrong in this? You might think that way, but no. One of my friends, they're talking about, there is a group of friends is basically group. You have many people, right? Many people in the, and they're talking about one person in this group. Okay, Sneha has asked me to repeat question number 40. Okay, I will. The manager along with the staff have gone for a meeting. Okay, so here you can see, when you encounter the questions like this is along with, so two subjects are connected by something, and that is add and along with. When you encounter these questions, A and B, A along with B, the manager and the staff, the manager along with the staff, when you encounter questions like this, you have two subjects, right? And you would not know which verb to use. There is a rule. When both of the subjects are singular, use singular verb. When both the subjects are plural, use plural verb. If one is singular and one is plural, if A is singular, B is plural, or A is plural and B is singular, take the B subject. So that is why I am taking the staff. So staff, that is a collective noun. Okay, staff is collective noun. Manager along with the staff. So staff means, if you know, staff, the singular word is staff. Plural is also staff. Staff. So we don't know if they're talking about singular or plural. So they are treated as collective noun. Collective noun are always singular. So you go for the singular verb has. That is why the have part is wrong here. I hope you understood it now, Sneha. Please let me know. Please let me know if your doubt is solved, Sneha. Okay. Next part is sentence improvement. Sentence improvement. He didn't. Okay. Let me just read this question. He did not know that his behavior annoy others. So this sentence can be grammatically wrong. Mostly grammatically wrong. And you have to improve this sentence to be grammatically correct. Now let's see how to do that. He did not know that his behavior annoy others. Now here they have given the verb part mostly. We know that verb talks about a subject, and it is talking about the subject over here. The subject he is singular. I already told you, if you encounter singular noun, you use singular verb. And how do you create a singular verb? You add s or es to it. So he did not know that his behavior annoys others. Okay, don't care about this thing. This is not the subject. Verb always agrees with the noun or the subject. Okay, that is what subject verb agreement is. They might give you lot of blah 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 things between the subject and the verb. So you might think that this is singular, so I can use singular here, but this is not the subject. Okay, this is the subject. So always subject and verb agree with each other. Verb agrees with the subject only, not any other thing other than that. Okay, next question. I wish I was more confident. So when you encounter, this is a pretty standard rule. When you encounter I wish, this should always be where. I wish I were more confident. Okay, I was. So usually what have we studied? I is singular, so we'll use singular verb, that is was. But no, when you have I wish, you use I were. I wish I were more confident. That is the rule of English grammar. Scarcely had the rain stopped than the rainbow disappeared. I already told you, when you encounter had the rain, had followed by a subject, had, you will go for when. Scarcely had the rain stopped when the rainbow appeared. So when the rainbow appeared, the rain had stopped scarcely. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, 4 more questions, and then I'll go on to the uh, email writing format and essay writing format. Let me see. Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for being interactive, Abhishek and Sneha. And thank you so much. You're trying your best, and I can see only few wrong answers, which is pretty good. Pretty good, which gives you confidence. You can be confident in solving verbal ability and English grammar. So don't worry about anything. This is a learning opportunity. You guys are pretty good. Okay. The manager suggested that the report is reviewed carefully. Okay. There is a concept over here. Here you can see the manager subject pretty correct. Suggested. Okay. There is a new word called as suggested. So suggested, there is something called a subjunctive mood. Okay. When you encounter words such as advised, suggested, recommended. Okay, when someone is suggesting, advising, recommending something, you have to follow rules for verb. Okay, when you see suggested, advised, recommended, um, yeah, mostly these words, you should use the base form. Okay, you should use be plus verb plus B plus V2. B plus V2. The manager suggested that the report be reviewed carefully. Okay. The manager suggested that the report be reviewed. When you encounter suggested or advised or recommended subjunctive mode, you have to use B plus V2. B. Remember that. This is a rule. Okay. One of my friends are going abroad next month. So here it should be going to, but still. I already told you, you're talking about one of these friends. So this should be singular. The answer would be is. He said that he will call me tomorrow. Here you can see what part should we improve. He said that he will call me tomorrow. Said that he would call me the next day. Said that he will call me the next day. Said that he would have called me the next day. Said he calls me tomorrow. Okay. This sentence is pretty correct. I think this question is wrong, but the options are wrong, but the sentence is pretty correct because he said that he. Okay. Okay, let us think once. He said that he will call me tomorrow. Okay, this sentence is not correct, guys. I'm sorry. This is, let me tell you. He will call me tomorrow is correct. Okay, he will call me tomorrow. So this is direct, indirect speech. Okay, direct, indirect speech. What is direct and indirect speech? Direct means when someone is talking to you directly. So to this person A, the person B has said, I will call you tomorrow. Let's say I'm talking to Abhishek, and I'm talking to Abhishek like, okay, Abhishek, I will call you tomorrow. I'm telling this directly to him. That is direct tense. Now, what Abhishek is doing is Abhishek is going to Sneha and saying her that I've said something. Okay. So what he's trying to convey is D has said that, Deepika has said that she will call me the next day. That is indirect. So I have told something to Abhishek directly. Abhishek is conveying that to Sneha. So that is, he is conveying indirectly. That is indirect speech. So when you encounter that, you have to use tomorrow will be replaced by next day. And in the indirect speech, will would come as would. He said that he would call me the next day. Correct answer is option A. He said that he would call me the next day. Okay. So Deepika said that she will call Abhishek. She would call Abhishek the next day. Okay. I hope you understood the difference between direct or indirect speech. If not, please let me know. I'll explain once again. Okay. If dash you, I would take the offer. Like you might think you have to use was here, but no. This is one of the cases of if clause, if conditions. If I were you, I would take the offer. The correct answer is where. This is a rule that you have to remember. So I've solved these many questions for you guys, and thank you so much for being interactive and putting the answers in the comment section. Session is not ended yet. I also want to talk about essay writing and email writing. Okay. So the next one would be email writing and essay writing. The difficulty of this level, you will get only one question. Let me say only one question, and that will be medium in difficulty. Even for English grammar, you will get 5 questions and medium in difficulty. Verbal ability 20. This is English grammar. Verbal ability separately 20 question. That will be pretty hard. I've already done the verbal ability video. Okay. If you go to my playlists, just go to the playlists. I'll also attach that in the description box. And you can see the Infosys playlist. You can click to view the full playlist, and you can see I've done verbal ability part 1 and verbal ability part 2. I've solved many questions which is of hard difficulty level will be high, so you can go and watch that for verbal ability. And even this live session will also be would have also been useful for you to solve the verbal ability questions. So if you watch this videos, you'll be thoroughly prepared to attend verbal ability, English grammar, English writing. Do not worry about that. Okay. Now email essay writing. So one question, either in an email or an essay, and I'll tell you how to write it. Now let's see what kind of emails they will ask you to write. So commonly Infosys asks you to write email that is workplace related scenarios. Workplace related. So what happens in the workplace? So when you go to work, when you get selected in Infosys and when you go to work, you might request for a leave, you might ask permission for work from home, or you want the extension of a deadline, you want resources. You might write these kinds of mails, or you may also write an apology mail for a mistake or a delay. You can apologize professionally. An appreciation mail for a colleague or the team for their contribution. Trust me, all of these mails exists. In corporate, you will write these mails. Or a complaint issue reporting email. For example, they've issued you a laptop and there is some issue with the laptop, and you want to raise the issue to the IT department, and you will be writing a complaint or an issue mail. And then to share an update, you might share an update and recommendation reference mail. So all these kinds of mail you will be writing, and you need to know what structure or template that you should use. Okay, so always start with the subject. Subject will be maximum 6 to 8 words. Don't go longer than that. Subject is just to let the people, recipient know what this mail is about, so that they can get an idea. And then always start with the greeting, dear sir or madam or name. Mostly name. In corporate, the culture is not to use sir or madam. And opening line. And let's say you're writing a mail to request something. So remember to use an opening line. So what is an opening line? This will tell why you're writing this mail. Whether you're writing to request something or inform something or apologize, that is the opening line. And then after you write the opening line, give the body should be 2 to 3 sentences, 2 to 3 short sentences. In corporates, the mail will not be long, will not be paragraphs, because nobody has time to read paragraphs. It will be short. So in the Infosys, if they have asked you to write the mail with some specific words like 200 words or something, write it in 200 words. But commonly you can just keep this short and crisp. You can give context or details in simple formal language, and with closing line you can add like end with a polite and a professional tone. So an opening line, a body, and a closing line. This is very, very important. This gives a structure to your email. And finally, you can give a sign off. You can say thanks and regards, yours sincerely, faithfully, with your name and designation. Now, let me give you an example. Okay, I told you, let's take you're applying for leave. You're requesting for 2 days leave. So, first, I told you have to start with the subject. Subject can be 6 to 8 words long, maximum. I told you, right? The subject part first. Part first, and then followed by that you give a greeting. So here, since we are applying for a leave, you can just say request for 2 days leave. Or if you're apologizing for something, apologizing for the delay of submission, apologizing for the delay, something like that, something that is short, that is something that lets them know that the recipient what you're talking about. And then greetings, dear sir or madam or name. And then this is the opening line. I'm writing to request. This is the opening line. And this is the body. Okay, the body is that you need leave for 2 days on the so and so date to attend a family function, or you're feeling ill, or death of a person. So that is what you write in the body. And followed by that, and something that you can also add usually when you're taking leave or work from home is that you or add like your assigned tasks will be completed on time before you leave or during the work from home activity. Okay, and then you give a closing line. So this closing line is to ask them to kindly grant you the leave for the mentioned dates, and followed by that you sign off. You can use regards, and you can use Priya Sharma, for example, a developer, analyst, or anything. This is how you write an email professionally. And what mistake might you do? May you do? Like, what mistake would you do? I will explain. Instead of using dear, you might use hey or hi. Hey or hi, it's pretty informal, not professional. That is the first mistake. And then long and vague subject. Okay, subject should be maximum 6 to 8 words, short and clear, not more than that. And grammar or spelling errors. So in Infosys, they will notice the grammar or spelling errors. So proofread always for spelling errors and grammar errors. Okay, missing purpose or unclear message. So when you don't follow this opening, body, and closing and a proper subject, you miss the purpose, or you might send unclear message that is not professional. They will also check that. So always give a correct purpose. So you will give the purpose in the body. Remember, you will give the purpose in the body. Always give it correctly. And when you miss the sign off, when you miss yours sincerely, regards or something, um, then that might also result in being a mistake. So don't do that. An overly long email, limit to 80 to 120 words, not more than that, not like 300, 500 words. Something that is medium in size, okay? And do not use contractions. Always use cannot, do not, will not. Don't use don't, can't. These are contractions, that is not professional. So this is the email writing template. If you follow this, you're good to go. And just understand the context in which they are asking to write this email. Okay. Any doubts so far? No. Now let's go to the next one. and that is short essay writing. They might ask you to write an essay, 150 to 200 words of essay. Like Infosys essays are formal, general, and workplace related mostly. These are all some of the example topics that I've given you. Importance of teamwork, impact of AI in employment, time management, technology, remote work. So the purpose of asking you to write an essay is that checking your grammar and whether you are able to think of something at that situation. So there is nothing right and wrong with respect to the actual content's meaning. They will check the grammar, vocabulary, guys. So grammar, vocabulary, and communication. How well you are communicating something. So when you understand the purpose and hit the answer correctly with the purpose, you are very good to go. Now, the structure for this is always, you will always have to follow an intro, a body, and a conclusion. Always. Introduction can be like this is an example. 2 to 3 sentences, body 6 to 8 sentences, conclusion 2 to 3 sentences. Um, Here I have given you an essay, sample topic, importance of communication skills. Don't make this so short. They'll definitely ask you to write in 200 words or 300 words. Stick to that. Don't make it shorter than that. Okay, this is the introduction. Introduction may be about talking about communication skills. What is communication skills? And body will be about what happens when you have a good communication skills, and conclusion you can say because of these collaboration, feeding, like sharing feedback, achieving team goals, this will lead to this, therefore okay, in conclusion you can put that this is how you write an essay. And some common mistakes are writing in informal tone and putting everything in a single para. So putting everything in a single para, that is not correct. You have to have a segregation, intro in a separate para, and body, if it is too large, separate that into 2 to 3 para, and conclusion, that will be in a separate para. And if it is too long, that is also wrong. If it is too short, that is also wrong. Keep it with the limit. If the limit is 300 words, try to write it in 300 words. Grammar or tense mistakes. Personal pronouns, don't use I too much. Okay, talk in third person's perspective. Repetition of the same idea. You have to use different points. Don't repeat the same idea. Just think of something, and without any conclusion. If you use intro, body, conclusion, and if you follow proper grammar rules, and if you stick to the words, then you're good to go. No problems. So quick tips, stay within the word limit, maintain the logical flow as I said, intro, explanation, conclusion. Spelling and punctuation is also very important, grammatically correct, and don't use too much complex vocabulary, stick to medium vocabulary. Okay, this is all about this live session, you guys. Thank you so much for attending. So in this live session I covered, first I started with English grammar questions. I solved like 50 questions, and then I also covered the email writing and essay writing templates. So if you follow this, then you're good to go for your Infosys round online assessment. So far in my channel for this, I have covered verbal ability, English grammar, email writing, essay writing, logical reasoning. So remaining I'll have to cover quantitative aptitude and pseudocodes. Okay, I'll also put videos for that, quantitative aptitude and pseudocodes, or live session too, so that it will be useful for you. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Decodes. It will be really useful for you. Click the bell icon so that you'll be notified for so you'll be notified regarding my videos, and you can quickly come join live with me, practice the questions alongside with me, and I'll also help you write in correcting the mistakes or something. And thank you so much for everyone who was really interactive in this live chat. Thank you so much, you guys. This means a lot to me, and I'll see you in another video. Till then, take care and bye bye. And in another live session, I'll solve all of your questions. But let me see if I've got any more questions. No, not really. Okay, fine. So this is all about this video, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Fine.